Going on, Jerome's. So one of the major storylines about the 2-0 Houston Texans coming in and taking on the 2-0 Minnesota Vikings is the return of Stefon Diggs, former star receiver for the Vikings. Of course, we'll always have the Minneapolis Miracle. We'll always be tied together. And even though like things didn't end well with Diggs, and Stefon has had some pretty passive-aggressive shots, and even just aggressive shots at the Vikings since we parted ways. Keep a name out your mouth. It is what it is, but I will always have a soft spot for Diggs. Let's go crazy. Dun, dun, dun. I am concerned because I'm not like a huge memorabilia person, but I do like keeping and framing like newspaper clips, like full-page historical moments. Also, I just love the patina it gets when it gets aged, a little bit yellow. But also, we're gonna have to frame a new one. Ooh, slinging Sam. So I was gonna frame it regardless before week 1, because just in case he's good, or if he's ass, thank you. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. So we're gonna do that up. But with Diggs, I always like the Stefon Diggs story. So 5th round pick out of Maryland. And he fell in the draft because he basically had a 9th string quarterback / linebacker throwing him the ball his last season in College Park. And he stayed. So he's a Maryland kid. He stayed close to home despite having offers from USC, Ohio State, Alabama. Like all the major schools wanted him, but he wanted to stay close to his family, and I respect that, right? And so that's what Diggs is kind of hard to understand. He really is. Like he really is a conundrum. Like you love him, but you dislike him, and you tolerate him, but I don't know. It really does go back and forth. And for a number of seasons, Diggs and Thielen were one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver duo in the National Football League. Although no one is going to let him date their sister. That's it. All right. And even though the Vikings were having some success, Diggs sort of forced his way out. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. There you go. The other one is for the Buffalo Bills fans. But so it was so funny. So you remember the timeline of this. So the morning of March 16, 2020 is when Kirk Cousins got his contract extension. And then all of a sudden, Stefon Diggs, it's time for a new beginning. No problem, man. But even though it didn't end great, and of course, we fans always take it personal when a player wants to leave. Oh, you don't want to be with us? F y'all. But it was the Diggs trade to Buffalo that did directly lead to Justin frickin' Jefferson. So, I mean, things worked out in the end. And Stefon put up monster numbers with the Bills for a couple of seasons. But Buffalo just ultimately weren't able to get it done. And, of course, Stefon Diggs eventually sort of nudged his way out of town as well. So it's funny, like Bills Mafia fans for a number of years. So first off, I love and respect Bills Mafia. I think they are hardcore fans, and they stick with the team through thick and thin. There's been a lot of thin before Josh Allen got there. Also, the 0-4 in Super Bowls, we're brethren there. Although the Vikings weren't 4 in a row, it was like 4 in like 6 or 7 years or something like that. That's rough. Anyways, but the Bills fans were like, oh, what's happening with Stefon Diggs? And we Vikings fans are like, we've seen this movie before. We've seen it. Eventually, he got traded to the Texans, and now Houston comes rolling into town, and it's funny. But like I said, so Diggs throughout the last couple of years when he hasn't been a Viking, has sort of taken shots at the Vikings, and he basically just came out and said they were going to start running the ball more, and I wanted to be traded because I wanted stats. Which, on one hand, I respect his honesty, but come on. But either way, like I don't have any ill will towards Diggs. I mean, time does heal all wounds. And even though he'll still take shots at Minnesota about, oh, I got things to tell about Buffalo, Minnesota. Who cares? No one cares. Like, Diggs is just going to be Diggs. And we are always going to have the Minneapolis Miracle. And we'll hang on to that. And, no matter what happens, like, 10 years from now, like, Diggs will be invited back to blow the Gallahorn. Brrr. On the anniversary of the miracle or something like that. So everything will be all good. But on Sunday, so Diggs is operating a lot from the slot with the Texans first couple weeks. So hopefully Byron Murphy puts Diggs in witness protection and we don't see or hear from him. That's it. But in terms of bitterness, like I have none. I just think it's kind of funny that he keeps talking about Minnesota. It's like the ex who's still obsessed with you. That's what's going. Just move on. We have moved on. We have moved on with someone younger and better. Maybe that's harsh, but the truth is the truth. But baby, we'll always have those good memories. That's right, man. That's right. But your thoughts are thoughts. How do Vikings fans feel about Stefon Diggs returning to historic U.S. Bank Stadium? Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys know what to do. Beautiful Friday. Skull production value.